Alright, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all on Monday night. So we made it through the road trip and got home and got to go back to work now. This is going to be my long week of nights. So get back at it and make back some of the money I spent when I took my little mini vacation over to Lafayette. Had a really good time, and Lafayette does it a little bit better with traffic, I think. We were down on, if you know anything about Lafayette, Ambassador Caffrey, down around the academy and where the Target is and everything. And even with a lot of traffic, and there was because it was Saturday night, everything still flows. I think it does better than Baton Rouge, but that's just what I think. So anyway, we're going to go back to work tonight, and it's going to be interesting because I got some new uniform shirts, nice and bright white. Supervisors wear white shirts, and after a while they get dingy. Even though I try to take care of them and everything, but they'll get dingy after a while. So and while I was in Lafayette, I went by to Target. I had a Target gift card, and I used that to buy some new t-shirts and socks and stuff. So it's going to be a spiffy uniform tonight. And in my world, that's a nice thing. I feel better with a good uniform. I'm one of the ones that tries to keep the uniform up. What's wrong, Hash Brown? We're fighting a battle of fleas, and right now Hash Brown's kind of losing. He needs a spray. We're going to take care of that. Don't worry. But anyway, so yeah, that was nice. So I was going to say one more thing. I did say how that I found the Clubman stuff back at the store there where I go that I thought they weren't going to be selling anymore. But also they sell the Schick injectors, and these are the ones, if I'm not mistaken, that are made in China, right? But anyway, I think that's where they're made. I don't actually see where it says, but anyway, $5.64 a pack of 7. I think that's a good price for injector blades. But anyway, I should have got more than one, but I just got one. I just noticed I need a blade for the night shave. So let's see. I've got my box of blades back here. Let's see what we come up with first. Yeah, that's vintage blades. We don't want that. And we got a whole box of those. Those are neat. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. Yeah, boy. We got a bunch of stuff. All right, Derby it's going to be. We're going to grab a Derby Extra blade. There we go. And so I was talking with Michael in Lafayette the other day. Mikey shaves, and a really good guy. He sent me several razors over the years. And actually he ran me down on Facebook, and I friended him on Facebook the other day. I don't do a lot of Facebook. I keep up with some family stuff with it. So one of the things he sent me, one of the many things he sent me, was the Flat Boy, which is made in Italy. And I like using the thing every once in a while. It works well for a two-sided thingy. And if you're not familiar with the Flat Boy, we're not saying Fat Boy. That's the old Gillette. This is the Flat Boy, and you'll notice it's flat. Pretty much, you got a flat blade there, and I think it works really well. And it's one of the ones he gave me. He sent it with this snazzy little jacket there for it. Ain't that snazzy? I'm too cheap to buy stuff like that for myself, and that's a true statement. But anyway, so we're gonna shave. Look all spiffy tonight, although there's not very many people there at night to care. I care. I think too many people don't understand that their attitude is what dictates their circumstances a lot of times. I talk to people a lot, especially younger people, and they're always whining about their circumstances and saying that's where their attitude comes from, and I don't believe it. Most of the time, a very large percentage of the time, boys and girls, your attitude is what's going to determine your circumstances. And I've said that before, and I'm not trying to be a life coach, because I would make a lousy life coach, because I just kind of do things my way and let the rest of the world adjust. But anyway, so for a soap today, it's been a little while since I've used a rose scented soap, and as everybody who's ever watched my videos for very long knows, Fuzzy loves a rose scented soap. It's one of my favorites, if not my favorite scent for a soap. So I was digging around, and the first one I came across was Soap Commander. So tonight we're using Soap Commander, and we're using the big Maggard's mixed brush in the handle that was hand turned by my buddy Patrick in Canada. So Soap Commander calls this here, Love is the name of this soap, vegan edition, shea butter and rinse, 100% handcrafted, true rose shaving soap. So anyway, there we go. I don't know a lot about it, like I always say. You would think that after I said I don't know a lot about something, I'd go look it up, but I never do. Sue me or something. All right, pretty good coffee. We got the Williams mug, even though we're not using Williams tonight. I don't think there's a law that says that I can only use my Williams mug if I'm using Williams. Giving my eyes a little break from contacts. You got to do that every once in a while. I tend to wear them too long before I take them out. But I'm really addicted to my contacts over my glasses. I see so much better. Of course, I still need to go and get a new pair of glasses. These I've had for, 15 years probably. But, the prescription is pretty much the same, except this last time he put me in bifocals. But I generally wear bifocals all the time anyway, because I wear reading glasses over my contacts. That's just part of getting older. If you hadn't gotten there yet, that gives you a little something to work for. If you have got there, you understand what I'm saying. Just how it goes. Look at there. Getting better. They're healing. All right, so the flat boy. And I read about people talking about, oh, you got to do this and you got to do that. And to me, I don't think I use it any different than any other razor. It's all angle and pressure, boys and girls. There's nothing complicated. You automatically, as you're saving, because you have good technique, you automatically get the right angle. I mean, if it starts out at the wrong angle, you just change it as you're going, and you get the right angle. And it works very good. It's a very efficient, in my opinion, razor without feeling harsh. I don't particularly feel like it's always going to go off and bite me. And, for me, it's a very, very nice smooth shave. I always have appreciated Michael sending it to me from the first time I used it. I'm not a big two-sided thingy person, as everybody knows. I like a single one-sided thingy. But some of them, they shave. People will use them for years, right? They won the advertising battle, marketing battle. So everybody shaved with double edge more than single edge, because the King Gillette won the marketing battle. But anyway, sometimes that's how it goes. It doesn't always have to be the best. Everybody just has to think it is. Which brings us to the question, what exactly was the best thing before sliced bread? I don't know. You always hear the old saying, well, that's the best thing since sliced bread. I've always been curious what was the best thing before sliced bread. Nobody's ever been able to tell me. Don't get me started on dad jokes. Oh, I love dad jokes. There's a YouTube thing. You can go look it up. It's aliens telling dad jokes. It's AI generated stuff. And to me, it's just absolutely hilarious. A little bit of good skin stretching here never hurt. Clean up around the old goatee. Starting to get some good definition back to it. They had some trimmers over at Drug Emporium, and I should have got a pair of them while I was there. I meant to go back by and get them, but when we left town, I decided I wanted to drive out to the country, back out where I lived. My mom and dad's camp out there when I was younger and had moved down here. And drive through the country, by the way, is quite therapeutic. This time of year, they're cutting cane. Call it grinding cane around here. Used to they cut it in long, they left it long and it went, but nowadays they got the machines that cut it and then it grinds it into shorter sections, and that's what they take to the mill to be ground. So they call it grinding cane these days, and that's what they're doing this time of year. If they've started, just getting started good, and so I got to go through and they were grinding cane and doing stuff, and it's in my world that's a lot of fun to see. So we got our witch hazel since we're back home. I got to remember to get some witch hazel for my travel bag. Also, I'm starting to need a haircut. And then as I showed at the start, our aftershave tonight is going to be the Clubman Musk, which I think is a very, very nice scent. Oh, so now I'm back fully stuffed with Pinaud, thanks to my sister. She'd already sent me a whole box of stuff that got me back. Big old bottle of the old Indiana Jones aftershave, the special reserve, and everything else. And then she got me some Lustre, the Blue Spice, which is nice. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it. But tonight, Clubman Musk. And this is some really, really good stuff. Just, trust me on that and go ahead and order you some. Now, the only thing I got left to acquire again, and I haven't had any in a really long time, is some of the rub, the Osage rub. And I got to get a hold of some of that. That's some old style stuff there. Ooh, that feels good with that Clubman on. Get a brush. That's a brush handle that, if you hadn't seen it before, that was hand turned by my Canadian buddy Patrick. Hadn't heard from him a little while. Hope he's doing all right. I'm going to go ahead and say, you folks in Florida, head for the hills. If anybody knows me in Florida, y'all go ahead. That's y'all's second one. I mean, we've had that here in South Louisiana in the past. I personally haven't. But my sisters had to fight those hurricanes. But anyway, y'all getting a second one there. Hopefully they don't run out of money to give you. Old Trump's been hammering on it, and he's been saying some stuff that ain't exactly true, but the truth of the matter is it ain't too far off. The gist of what he's saying is not as untruthful as some people are wanting it to be. It's we're dumping money elsewhere, and I'm not going to get into the politics, but we're dumping money elsewhere, and we could be dumping money in Florida and Georgia and North and South Carolina. I spent some time out in that part of the world many years ago driving a cotton truck in Snow Hill around Kinston. Goldsboro, I saw in the news the other day, I got my head sewed up in Goldsboro because I busted it open with a piece of pipe. I got a scar that runs all the way from there, all the way back around to there. It used to be covered by a hairline, but it ain't anymore. Busted my head open, and that's where I got it. I busted my head open like that. Nobody else did it for me. I didn't get into a bar fight and get my head busted. I did it to myself. And you just ain't lived until you done that. I walked up, there was an old farmhouse there, and I walked up and knocked on the door, and Grandma answered the door, and I had my head down because I was bleeding like a stuck hog. And I said, ma'am, I said, yeah, outside water faucet. I done cut my head and I need to wash it. And she said, oh, let me look. And she said, oh, come over here. We got an outside sink. She cleaned it up and everything. I wasn't thinking about the fact. I think she raised 5 sons. If I remember, it was 4 or 5 sons, cotton farmers in North Carolina there. And they raised some cattle and tobacco, and they did all kinds of stuff. So I should have been thinking she ain't going to be too worried about a little cut like that would bleed. But anyway, I went and got I think I got 20 stitches on the inside and 20 stitches on the outside to fill that hole up. But anyway, ancient history. One of the whole rattling there was to say, again, y'all be careful and take cover. Not going to be any fun riding one of those out. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thanks for listening to me babble. Although when I go back and look at the statistics, most people don't. It's okay. Hey, look, I'm not saying. The 2 or 3 people, viewer number 7 comes around every once in a while, but I'm not sure they're still a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But anyway, I appreciate everybody that does. Y'all have a great day. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shaves to you.